Tough Love here is one of the 3 episodes that I recently watched during my live stream of the Star vs. the Forces of Evil Season 3 finale. I say that because the primary reason I waited to get this review up until now is because I wanted to wait until that live stream's archive was back up on my channel after being taken down by Disney, and that I was 100% sure it was going to stay there. You can see up in the little corner card thing a link to that video if you guys want to go check it out either before or after you've watched this. Or you can wait until tomorrow when I review Divide and Conquer together in one big, huge review. Or don't watch the live reaction at all. I don't mind either way. That said, this is by far the simplest of the episodes. It's only a regular size episode, whereas the other 2 are full 22-minute episodes, and is basically just set up for the 2 episodes to come. Hence why I'm going to focus very little on this review, saving up my energy for reviewing those other 2 episodes. And it also means that this is going to be my very last Star vs. the Forces of Evil micro review. If you guys recall, it was back during, I think, Season 2, or later in Season 1, one or the other. I decided that Star vs. the Forces of Evil episodes were simplistic enough that I was going to do them as micro reviews unless they demanded more time. Well, it's been a while since I felt like they still only deserved micro reviews, so now that we are at the finale, because I do count this as part of the finale, I think it is appropriate to declare that I will no longer be treating them as micro reviews by default. This show has grown so much more complex in just roughly 1 season's time that I am astonished by it. I'm astonished that it could improve so much, even following the also very good Season 2. And that it could do so with just the same people working on it, because if I'm not mistaken, they didn't really change things up within the crew working on this show throughout the time of this huge transformation. I do think that structurally speaking, in terms of the interconnectivity of plots and the setup and the resolutions in this show, it is probably the best written animated show of its kind on television right now. I can't wait for the next season, and I really hope the next season isn't the last one. Like, I can definitely see how it could be the last one. I do think it could wrap everything up in just 1 more season, especially if the Globgore character turns out to be the kind of character that I suspect him to be. But I don't want it to end after next season. I definitely hope that ends up not being true. A lot of Tough Love fell flat for me. There was a big lead up to the main confrontation in this episode that dealt with the peasants and the various non-royal, aka unimportant residents of Muni. We saw the destruction in Meteora's wake, implying that she is much larger now than she was before. And we can see that a lot of peasants have lost their homes, they've lost their villages, they've probably lost their lives, at least in some cases. And I just don't care. I'm sorry, but I don't. The peasants have always seemed less like characters to me and more like caricatures, and it's hard to care about the well-being of a caricature. Then we return to, he's like Ed or something, I don't remember his name exactly, the guy with the spiders hanging from him, the guy that freaked me out so much. And I didn't care about him either when he got his soul sucked out by Meteora, because he was freaking me out. I didn't want him to be there. So that entire section of the episode, up until Meteora appears and we get to see just how big she is and her full presence is felt, meant nothing to me. But the end, the confrontation between Eclipsa and Moon and Meteora, turned this whole episode around, brought it back around, and made it into something really great. This episode set a very strong emotional foundation for the 2 episodes to come after. We get to see Eclipsa try to reason with Meteora, but she's not her Meteora anymore. She's grown into someone else, someone who is obsessed with revenge, obsessed with getting everything that she wants, because for so long she wasn't allowed to have anything that she wanted. And who over time has become corrupted by this feeling that she had no choice but to use people just to survive. So even though she recognizes Eclipsa for who she is, and you can tell that some part of her still wants a life with her mother, she's beyond that at this point. At least for the most part. We do get a hint here that Eclipsa may have been able to reason with her by being raw and open about her emotions. But by that point in time, Moon and Meteora had already come to blows. We have seen now just how strong Meteora is. It's not just her large size that's a problem. She also has magic at her disposal. And honestly, I don't fault Moon for taking that last shot, which jeopardized what may have been Meteora finally listening to Eclipsa, because Moon had absolutely no reason to believe that Meteora would actually be talked down. And no matter how much I care about the peasants, we have seen through their part in this episode that Meteora is incredibly powerful, and is therefore a genuine threat to the lives of everyone in the kingdom. The final scene in the episode was absolutely excellent in how strange, mysterious, and shocking it was. Seeing Moon with what seemed like half her soul ripped out, in a beaten, broken, and corrupted version of her Murity form, retreating into what appeared to be the dimension of magic, was startling. I never expected that to happen. But what I found more interesting was how she ended up that way. When push came to shove, Eclipsa made the split decision to support Meteora, and help her fight back against Moon, which led to Moon being hit by this huge concoction of mixed magic. And you can see that Eclipsa immediately regrets it, because that's not what she wanted to happen. She was just acting on her instincts as a mother. And it makes sense that it happened here. It's just I honestly didn't expect it to happen yet, though I am super excited to see that this happened here because Eclipsa used magic without a wand. This is the only time we've seen her do this up to this point, and even though it's never been said that she literally can't do magic without a wand, just that she never learned how, it's still cool to see her grow in that way because I care about her character that much. Like I said though, this episode is just a foundation for the episodes to come, but it does a really good job of being that. I liked it a lot, but as per usual guys, I'd like to know what did you think of this episode if you have seen it. Let's get discussion going in the comment section down below or over on my Discord, link in the description. Either way though, this has been AJ22 and I will talk to you guys later.